all these rejections from the middle Bollinger Band.
Resistance we're going to need.
If you actually see here, we get a
And we'll look for a healthy
I
higher low.
would not
don't have
be
the
convinced
pullback
to
to
enter a
cross
long
trade.
trade.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Yes, there's a background noise. It's the air conditioning. Sometimes that's the way life goes. Yes, I sometimes wear glasses. Do you want to fight about it? We're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and ETC on the daily and weekly time frame. And we're going to be watching for a daily higher low. In my opinion, as I've been saying, we are watching for the potential of a weekly lower high visually on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. I was watching for a lower high to be set compared to 84.88. And I was looking at 7,200 as a rough visual range. We got within $72 of that level, and now we're seeing consolidation. So I'm looking for a daily higher low to form. It could potentially be at 67.90. I'm not sure yet. We need some more time and some more follow through on the bounce. If it is, and if the bears are going to take over here, we're going to have to see a lower high compared to 71.28, and then a loss of the daily higher lows to give us a bearish follow-through move and to give us our weekly lower high. So as of right now, our couple support levels to be watching, 65.72, 62.28. If those levels hold, we have an uptrend on the daily and it remains intact. So again, we're looking for a break of the daily uptrend to indicate the weekly lower high has been set. We don't have that yet. The bulls are still holding on at this point, and we are still holding these daily exponential moving averages. The low of today bounced just above those levels. 4-hour time frame, lower high, lower low pattern. Anything under 70.69 is just a lower high on the 4-hour. So if we set a lower high, we're going to pull back and we're going to see, can the bulls hold 67.90? That's the low of consolidation at this point. If you give me a 4-hour higher low compared to 67.90 and then a bull break of the lower highs, I will say, all right, our daily higher low is clearly established at 67.90. That's the new benchmark that we're watching, and if it breaks, then we'll have our weekly lower high most likely set. So we had a solid bounce at this point. For any bears looking for entries, you're looking to enter on 4-hour lower highs. We had weakness today, but once you get 3, 4, 5 red 4-hour candles in a row, it's best to enter on strength into your bearish position rather than onto weakness, as the bears have already seen that follow through. So again, using the lower highs as a bearish entry is a potential opportunity. Another clear bearish signal from last night. Just to go over trade review, I was sleeping and I don't trade Bitcoin bearish, but what to be watching for. So yesterday's video, we were looking for a 4-hour lower high. We saw a dump and a loss of the 4-hour higher lows. When you lose the higher low pattern, you look for a lower high on the next bounce. So if we know that we're looking for a 4-hour lower high, we know the longer term perspective on what we're expecting, then we look to the shorter term time frames to find those details that give us what we're looking for longer term. So if I'm looking for a 4-hour lower high to be set, I'm looking for a loss of hourly higher lows. So we go to the hourly time frame and we say, all right, we're seeing a bounce. We're looking for a 4-hour lower high. We have a higher low established, continuation, and then we have inside bars. So inside bar, bear break. There is your signal right there. If you're looking to play these hourly inside bars, multiple inside bars, the more inside bars you have in a row, the more likely you're going to see follow through on the break that occurs, because that tells you you're getting tighter and tighter. Imagine like a rubber band pulling it. And if you're pulling it, the tighter it gets, then we get a snap and we get the follow through in one direction or the other. If it's just a little weak rubber band pull, you're not going to get as significant of a snap. So the tighter you get, the more significant the snap. The bear break was 70.30. That was your bear signal. So if you say, all right, if we lose this hourly inside bar and break it bearish at 70.30, I make an entry at that level when it's lost, and then I put my stop above 70.69. That's my stop level, because I'm anticipating that's our 4-hour lower high, and obviously if we break that level, I'm wrong, and I want to be out of the position. So we see the bear break. Let's say I get an entry at 70.25. My stop level is at 70.71. I am risking $46. The amount of pullback that we then saw all the way down to the bottom, obviously you're not going to nail the top and the bottom, but if you entered at that point, you're risking $46. We ended up pulling back down towards the low 6,800s. So at that point, that trade ends up being a $200 profitable trade. So we're talking 5-to-1 risk to reward in terms of the potential of the follow through compared to what you would risk making that entry. So that would be the entry that you make as a bear when you're scouting for the 4-hour lower high. So same thing, we're looking for another 4-hour lower high to be set. So anything under 70.69 will give us the lower high, and we're watching for a bear break on the hourly time frame. Now we have not established an hourly high or low yet. So there's two ways to go about this. You could play this inside bar bear break on the hourly time frame, or you could patiently wait for the hourly high or low to be established, some bounce attempt follow through, and then losing the hourly high or low is when you then enter that bearish position. There's another way to do this. Whether you're bullish or bearish, just wait for the weekly chart. I've been saying this for weeks at this point. If you're not a confident trader, if you're not into these little moves, and if you're a swing trader, it's all about patience. Wait for the weekly chart to break this equilibrium. We'll have a volume spike, we'll have a volatility spike. If you've been watching, you know the whole routine. That's what I'm looking for. I will trade within this range very brief, very sporadically, not consistently. I'm trading the stock market. There's tons of opportunity there. I'll be back to crypto heavily when we break this equilibrium pattern. And even if it's a bear break, I'll figure out some way to play that, whether it's by shorting something on the US stock side of things, perhaps that new ETN. Speaking of which, we need to look at that ETN. CXBTF, because there's notable things here. Opportunity. Obviously, there's tons of gaps. I would never swing this overnight because it's literally cuffing your hands and having your hands tied behind your back as a trader. Why would I choose to trade something where I'm literally locked into my position for 16 hours or whatever it is, and the instrument that is trading based off of is trading 24 hours? I will never swing a instrument that closes with market hours when it's trading based off of Bitcoin. I don't care if it's an ETF. I'll trade the ETF during market hours. I'll day trade it. I will never swing it. It just doesn't make any sense. So what we had was that was notable. This big gap open to the all-time high, and I did the math previously. The Bitcoin move from the market open to the market close there was about 5% in change, but here on CXBTF it was about 8% in change. So we generally are going to expect less premium here than for GBTC, but there is still clearly premium. There was a solid bull amount of volume, the bulls were buying, and it was definitely notable that it was more of a bull move than we saw on Bitcoin. So I'm going to continue to watch this ticker and continue to watch how it trades. Again, it's fairly new, so I need to watch the correlations. I need to watch what kind of volume we see, what kind of premium there is. So get to be familiar with this ticker before I start to trade it. And that's what I'm doing right now. And we're looking for a daily higher low compared to 31.05. But again, this is another one where I'm just going to wait for the weekly equilibrium on Bitcoin before I try and trade this thing. Ethereum on the daily. So it was tight. We saw a bull break, no follow through. Again, I have no faith in Ethereum right now, and it has nothing to do with fundamentals. It's all technicals. We're just not seeing it on the daily chart. ETC, BTC has to see a clear trend change on the daily time frame for me to be interested in Ethereum as an alternative for Bitcoin. That's just the way that it is in my head, and that's what I'm going to be holding out for. Otherwise, I'll just look for Bitcoin. We have clear resistance of 297.64, followed by 322.16 with 300 psychological mixed in there as well. And we do still have daily higher lows, 270, and we held 272.13. So the bulls are still holding on just barely, but this weekly time frame right now for Ethereum, certainly not giving the bulls a lot of confidence, but we do have clear inside bars. You could trade this weekly inside bar if you're a swing trader and wait for the break. The last weekly inside bar break that we had was bearish, and we dumped. So let's see if we get a clear break and which direction that does break. We've got 3 trading days left in this current candlestick, and it might form an inside bar, which would give us a clear break next week. Litecoin, clearly more bullish than Ethereum. We broke the high of the bounce at this point. That was up at 62.60, and you can see Ethereum on the daily, just comparison, not even close. So we are talking a difference of maybe 20%, 15, 20% lower than the high of the initial bounce, and Litecoin following along with higher. So the last daily higher low was 56.02. The bulls have to form a higher low compared to that level to remain in control. When we lose the daily uptrend of higher lows, we look for our weekly lower high to be set. We had a weekly inside bar bull break, certainly more bullish than Ethereum in that instance as well, but anything under 94.39 is a lower high. That's 50% away from where we currently stand. We're not changing this weekly trend anytime soon, so we have to realize that. So the odds that we lose this daily uptrend after a weekly lower high are more likely than not, unless the bulls can just go 50% from here, which again, not likely. So clear daily higher low, 4-hour lower highs to be watching. The bulls have to change the 4-hour trend, just very clear. Lower high, lower low, lower high. You get the idea. We have to change the 4-hour trend in order for our daily trend to say, all right, our higher low has been set and we're heading back up to the recent high of 63.91 to see if we can see daily continuation. ETC USD on the daily chart. I'm liking the equilibrium here. We're tightening up a bit. I'm watching the low, high, higher low, and resistance right up here. A couple lower highs right there. So I'm looking at 1338, 1352 resistance levels, and we've got support at 1209 and 1178. Anything above 1209 is a higher low for ETC. The bulls on the 4-hour time frame want to change the trend. Anything above 1209 will be a higher low. Have to change the 4-hour trend to be confident our daily higher low has been established. We had a clear bear break here, high of the bull move, low of consolidation, lower high, bear break, lower high, follow through. So at this point, we are in consolidation mode on most daily time frames. That's very clear. There's no major red flags. I'm not seeing any volume red flags or anything like that. Check Bitcoin one more time. But other than that, we're just watching, can the bulls keep the daily higher low pattern? And I'm very cautious. Again, my weekly target has been hit. That makes me more cautious as a bull, and it makes me more patient. So I'm watching to see, can we see continuation and break up towards 7,200 and beyond? Or are we going to lose this daily higher low pattern and set our weekly lower high? So that's where we stand. Again, patience is ideal unless you are doing a good job and profiting in this space right now. There's absolutely altcoin trades out there. There's absolutely day trades in here. If you are confident and doing well, stick with it. If you're not and you're frustrated and you're losing money, just stop and practice and paper trade while we're in this time frame, in this range, and then look to trade real money when we get the real break on this weekly time frame. And again, I cannot stress how significant this break in late September, early October is going to be, in the sense that we're either going to be heading towards 5,000 psychological or 10,000 psychological. And that's obviously a very big difference. And again, with technical analysis, I'm not predicting which way we're going, but I do know a break is coming and I will react to the price. I'm not going to predict which way we're going to break. I'm going to react to which way we're going to break. So here at the end of the video, as you all continue to do good things, I had a great day yesterday, a lot of opportunity to do good things. Here's the video of Austin here, took some bat footage and got a ride on a bike over there to a restaurant. And as I was getting out of the restaurant, there was a guy came through and he said he's not asking for money, just wanted some food. And again, if you're asking for food, you're getting hooked up. So we were heading into a Mexican restaurant. I was like, we're just heading in right here. I'll get you some food. It'll be good to go. And he's like, no, that's like $12. I just want a $5 burger right down here. And I was like, you know what? You can get 2 burgers, 3 burgers, whatever you want. And we passed an ATM while we were walking there, so I just gave him some money instead. And he was really pumped. He was a really good dude. He just got a job. He's going to start working in the kitchen, trying to get his stuff back on track. And you can tell, you can tell genuine people when, they're really trying to do good. And he was very appreciative. And then as we're coming out of the restaurant after having some of the best steak fajitas I've ever had in my life, don't tell the tacos, but there was another guy and he was just asking for food, and I'm holding leftovers. Absolutely, you can have my leftovers. And so he was pumped as well. So having the ability to have that opportunity to just pass that on to other people, I will gladly share a meal with you any day of the week. So continue to do good things out there. Food is good. Sharing food's even better. Sharing food that you grow is the best thing that there is. And we will see you tomorrow and see if the bulls can form another daily higher low very clearly to give us a new benchmark to say, all right, this is now the new level that we have to hold in order for the weekly move to still be intact. If we lose it, our weekly lower high is set. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.